For the cheapest coins with fast delivery and quick customer support, check out my sponsor Red Zone Coins and use code SWIFT at checkout for 20% off.
So family, and today I'm coming back at you guys with another Madden 20 video on the channel. And in today's video I'm going to be going over my opinions on the best players you should be picking with your NFL draft class of 2020 fantasy packs, which I know a lot of you guys earned through house rules, solo challenges, or maybe even just purchased and still need to decide who to choose. I've got you guys covered. I'm going to go through all the options and give you guys my personal opinions on the best ones to select. I'm also just going to quickly overview how you can get these packs. That's not the main part of the video, but in case you guys didn't know how to get these, I'm going to show you guys that really quickly as well. Now, before we hop into the video, everyone be sure to scroll down and leave a like and a comment. It helps the channel grow a ton, and I'd really appreciate you guys for that. And if you're new to the channel and you do enjoy this content and you don't want to miss out on more of it, hit that sub button. That would be greatly appreciated as well. Now, without further ado, let's hop into this video and let's get started off by quickly just overviewing what these packs are and how you can earn them. So basically what the packs are, if you come into the NFL draft tab and you go over to the draft class of 2020, a lot of people were able to earn these packs through solos, house rules, and all that stuff. So I'm going to quickly go over how you can get them, and then we will hop into the store and I'll tell you guys my best options for who you can pick with these packs. As you can see, there's different overalls associated with where players were drafted. 2 to 5 got a 98 overall, and you're able to pick one of these players. Then again, 6 to 10 got a 97 overall, and you're allowed to pick one of these players if you have the pack. And same thing with the 11 to 20 and 21 to 32 overall draft pick. So I'm going to go over my opinions on the best players you should choose. Quickly, I just want to go over how you can get these packs, because of course solo challenges are how you guys are going to be able to get these done. So as we scroll over to the solo challenges tab, you guys will see that when we go to the draft section, there's a bunch of different ways you can earn these. So going over to the draft, if we scroll all the way up here, I actually haven't done any of these solos yet, but I know a lot of you guys are going to be doing so. I haven't done them just personally because none of the players would really start on my team, but the draft diamonds are going to allow you to get 97 overall players if you get 2 of the draft diamonds. Then with the 11 to 20 draft pick, you're going to have to put those in a set, which is going to allow you to get a fantasy pack to then choose one of the 2020 draft class players. Again, same thing with the 93 overall, and that's right here. The draft diamonds as well are going to allow you to pick one of the draft players. So I'm assuming you guys have some of these packs you need to choose between, or maybe you actually want to pick up some of these cards. This video should be helpful, so I'm definitely going to help you guys out with that. So without further ado, let's hop into the auction house, and let's start it off by going over the best 2 to 5 overall draft player to choose. So here we are, fellas, on pick 2 to 5. These are all 4 of the options. We have Andrew Thomas, Chase Young, Tua Tagovailoa, and then we also have Jeff Okudah down here as well. Now, a lot of what goes into your choice is going to be who you need on your team, whether you need a quarterback, a left end, a left tackle, a corner. That's going to be the main deciding factor, but since I don't know who you guys need on your team, I'm just going to be ranking these cards based on true abilities, and basically just looking at the back of the card and making a selection based on that. So starting it off with my favorite player out of all of these is going to be Jeff Okudah's 98 overall card. He's going to be sitting at 96 speed, 97 excel, and 95 agility, which is just crazy. Those are really good stats. 98 man coverage, you can get that up to 99 easily. You can get the press up to 99. The zone is a little low, but a lot of stuff with zone coverage is threshold based, so he should hit all the major thresholds that you need for him to play really well in zone. So Jeff Okudah is probably going to be my favorite card. Now moving on to my second favorite, it is actually going to be Andrew Thomas right here. Andrew Thomas has really good stats. When we look at the back of the card, his run blocks at 99, the run block power and finesse are really good. The pass blocks at a 96 with really good pass block power and finesse. He's arguably the best left tackle in the game, so being able to get the best left tackle in the game is a really good option. He's going to be an end game card. You can probably just keep him at left tackle for literally the rest of the year, and you will not have to worry about it at all. Now moving on to the next guy on this list, we have Tua. He's going to be my third favorite out of these. I was really hoping he would get the improviser archetype, so that way he'd get escape artist and stuff like that, but unfortunately this card does not get escape artist. When we look at the back of the card, the stats are impeccable. The throwing stats are great. The throw power is pretty good. I wish it was a little bit higher. His speed's also pretty good, but this is a good card. I'm a fan of it, but I feel like there's a lot of other quarterbacks that are very, very similar in how they play to him. I heard he has a crazy good release, so he is a solid card, but I just don't think he's better than the other options. And then the last one is Chase Young. They really did him dirty. Looking at the back of the card, 93 block shed is just too low. It's almost unusable. The strength is so low as well. The speed and excel are nice, and then the finesse move honestly could be a little bit higher than that. So that's my ranking for the picks 2 to 5. I would recommend going with, firstly, if you need a corner, Okuda, then I'd go Andrew Thomas, then we'd go Tua, and then we'd go Chase Young. So next up, let's move on to picks 6 to 10, and I'll give you guys my rankings for those. So here we are on picks 6 through 10, and there's actually a lot of good options here. All of these players were pretty similar. It was really tough for me to decide, but I would say there was a pretty clear-cut first, and then it was tough for me to decide the rankings after that. So first up, we have Isaiah Simmons. Just looking at the back of this card, the 95 speed and 95 excel are going to jump out at you. He's going to be the fastest outside linebacker in the game, I'm pretty sure. So that's crazy good, and he's going to just absolutely dominate on the field. Unfortunately, the block shedding is pretty low, but as we scroll down here, he should have some pretty high zone coverage, which is going to make him a really good coverage linebacker. That's probably what you're going to use him more for. As you can see, he's got 90 zone, so he's almost like a safety playing at the linebacker spot. If you sub him in like a nickel defense or something like that, he's going to be absolutely beastly, and I really like him for that fact. He's going to give a bit of versatility to your defense, so of course you're not going to rush him as a pass rusher, but you can leave him in zone, and he'll play almost as good as some corners at the middle of the field with 90 zone, so that hits that threshold, and 95 speed. It makes the card super glitchy, and he honestly has basically the same speed and zone coverage stats as this corner right here, so getting that at right outside linebacker is definitely a unique card, and that's why I would say he is my top pick. Now moving on to the next best option, we actually have Derek Brown's defensive tackle card. Now defensive tackles aren't a sexy pick, but looking at the back of this card, it is pretty nice. 71 speed and 84 excel is good for a defensive tackle. He's gonna have 97 strength and 95 shed, which is amazing, and he's also got a high power move, so this card is pretty good. I'm actually a really big fan of it, and if you don't need an outside linebacker, or you're just not a fan of the Isaiah Simmons card, Derek Brown is a really good option for you. Now moving on to the next one on this list, we have CJ Henderson. CJ Henderson is a pretty solid card. He's got 96 speed, so really good there. He's really similar to the Okuda card with higher man and lower zone and really good speed, excel, and agility, but again, he's just going to be a little worse in a lot of different areas, and I just feel like the other cards on this list are a little bit better than him, so that's why I have him at the 3 spot. Now moving on to the next card on this list, we have Jedrick Wills. I actually think this is a good card. It's a little worse than the left tackle I just showed you, but again, if you get him, you're going to get basically an end game left tackle here with 94 strength, really good pass block, and pretty solid run block as well. Again, I prefer my tackles to have a better pass blocking, so it's good that he's got better pass block, but yeah, a really good card here, absolute beast. You'd be able to keep him for basically the end of the year. And then Justin Herbert, I mean, again, I feel like there's a lot of quarterbacks that give very, very similar stats to this, so not a huge fan of his card, but he's got good throw power, pretty solid speed, and then pretty solid accuracy as well, but I just feel like the other players on this list are a little bit better. Now let's move on to picks 11 to 20, and I'm actually only going to give you guys a couple of options for these because there's a lot of different players you can choose from, so I'm just going to show you guys my top options for these. We don't need to go through all of the cards for some of these later picks. So starting it off with my top option for these for this class of pick 11 to 12, we're gonna have Henry Ruggs. This is basically a no-brainer. 98 speed is incredible. He's gonna be basically the fastest player on the field at all times. When we take a look at his acceleration as well, it's gonna be at a 97 to go along with 95 agility. So great stats when it comes to that stuff. The catching and route running stats are actually decent. He's gonna get over 90 in basically all of them, assuming you can get the chems up. He's got great jumping as well. Catching traffic's a tiny bit low. That's the only annoying thing. But this card is definitely the best option, hands down, in my opinion, out of the picks 11 to 12. Now next up, we have my man Javon Kinlaw. This card actually has really good stats, very, very similar to the card I just showed you guys, except he kind of has a bit better power moves and worse block shedding than the Derek Brown, but 73 speed, 83 excel is really good. The strength is great, the block shedding is great, the power moves are great as well. For a 96 overall, this is a really, really good option. Now out of all of these players, those are the top 2 ones, hands down. I'm not going to go through any of the other cards because I think those 2 cards are the best ones by a mile out of the picks 11 to 20. So if you need players at either of those positions, which you guys probably do because defensive tackle and wide receiver are both some like decently depth options, I would definitely recommend grabbing either of those 2 cards. I would say those are really the only 2 options that I would recommend you guys go for when it comes to the 96 overall. Now on the final section of the list, we have the picks 21 to 30. Now for picks 21 to 30, we've got a couple of interesting cards here. I really like the speed we got at linebacker when it comes to these options. So we're going to start it off with my top player on this list, and that is going to be 95 overall Patrick Queen. Still kind of wish the Saints drafted him, but looking at the stats, he's going to have 93 speed, 93 excel, 81 zone, 82 hit power, 85 block shed. So this card can literally do it all. He's going to have hit power to be able to hit. He can cover. He's got decent block shedding to get off blocks, great speed. When you compare him to Kenneth Murray, who was another option, he just has way better zone coverage. So in my opinion, this Patrick Queen is the best card, hands down, out of the picks 21 to 30. I would recommend picking him up, and he's going to be a great user linebacker for you, and he can also play if you don't use him, because he's got good zone, good block shed. I would assume he's also got pretty good play rec, 93 play rec, great tackle. This card is really good. His only liability would be in run coverage, or run defense, sorry, just because of the block shedding. It's a little bit low, but out of all these options, I think the Patrick Queen is the best card, hands down. Now moving on to my next option, we have Jeff Gladney at corner here. He's gonna have really good stats for a 95. He's got 93 speed, 94 excel, 92 agility to go along with 94 zone, which is actually better than Okuda, who we mentioned earlier, and it's also better than Henderson. So he's gonna have a very good zone coverage, which is really great to see. Really good stats on the back of this card. I'm a really big fan of him. If you need depth at the corner position, this is a really good option for you as well. And moving on to the final option that I want to talk about, it is going to be Jordan Brooks. Now, I don't really see a reason why you guys would pick Jordan Brooks, because Patrick Queen's card is just hands down much better, but I wanted to include him on the list just because he's got really good stats as well. He's going to have a bit better excel than Patrick Queen. The hit power and the block shedding, or the block shed, is just a little bit better, so he's going to be a tiny bit better in run defense, but the zone coverage is just such a liability that it makes it really tough for him to cover on the field. So that's why I would recommend probably going with the Patrick Queen card over this card right here for Jordan Brooks. But if you want a bit better run defense, then you could go with the Brooks. So yeah, that's gonna do it for the video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you did end up getting any of these packs and you still have them in your item binder, be sure to consider these options. I think these are probably the best players you can pick at each position. There are also some really good depth options. So there's a bunch of wide receivers, defensive tackles, linebackers, who you can just sub in where you see fit. If you already have good players at that option, you can just get some depth there. So yeah, that's gonna do it for the video. Again, hope you did enjoy. If you made it all the way to the end of the video and you are not yet subscribed to the channel, be sure to do so down below with the notification button turned on. Also, if you made it to the end of the video, I am thinking of starting doing something where I actually post like 5 minutes of gameplay, and just basically recap a game in a shorter fashion, kind of. So I'm not going to show you guys all the plays, but I'll show you guys some of the highlights of a game at the end of my videos. I'm thinking of doing that. So if you guys would be interested in that, comment a 1 down below. Just curious if you guys would think that would be cool. I think it would be pretty fun, be able to show you guys some gameplay, and also not make it too long. It would only be like 4 or 5 minutes, maybe some highlights of a game, and I think that would just be a fun way to add some more gameplay and just add some more like zest, I guess, to some of these videos. So yeah, that's gonna do it. Hope you did enjoy, and until next time, fellas, I'm out. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.
So slow out.